Hey there, I just want to say yoga can be for everyone. However, it is your responsibility to determine if you are ready and able to perform this workout video. If you or a family member have a history of heart disease, high blood pressure, or are obese with any physical or medical condition that could be aggravated by a physical activity, please consult a physician before proceeding. If you are pregnant, also consider consulting a physician. If you have any history of injury such as neck, back, shoulder, or knee, please proceed with caution and stop immediately if you feel any pain, lightheadedness, or nausea. The user assumes all risks. Thanks, and I'll see you on the mat. Hi everyone, welcome to Connection Yoga. This is Roscoe and I am Kat, and we're here today to break down another yoga pose just for you. The pose we'll be breaking down is a seated twisting pose called half Lord of the Fishes. So the name doesn't really tell you much about what the pose look like, but that's okay. That's my job. We're going to break it down together. First, I'm going to demonstrate, and then feel free to, as we move through the body, adjust and try the things that I'm suggesting while I go through. So without further ado, this is half Lord of the Fishes pose. Ta-da! Do I look like a lord of fish? Maybe. Maybe not. Roscoe is here. He is a salmon fiend. He loves it, but we've had to take it away because it makes his fur stick a little bit. But that's just the cost of real fishes. This is just a pose, so it is going to give us a lot more benefits and great value to our body. So starting with the legs, you're going to have a bottom leg and a top leg. That's how I'm going to try and refer to them. So the bottom leg, I'm going to start with my left leg being my bottom leg. So pulling your left heel to your right outer hip and crossing your right leg over to the outside of the left thigh. So your foot goes down flat while your left foot is supine, revolved up. Let's see if this is a better view. Is that better? Yeah. So this back foot, the top side is kind of down from you pulling it in and the heel towards your butt. Top leg cross. Woo! So you want your hips slightly square with your sit bones down. So for me, I notice when I initially get into this pose, my crossed top leg hip usually lifts a little bit, and I just have to kind of readjust that bad boy down, maybe fidget my legs a little bit. And maybe this crossed foot isn't all the way pressed down, but that's okay. So make sure your butt is down, and then you can start to think about getting into the twist. So your core in this twist, you want it to be extending up. So as you go up, you need to pull your belly in and use it to lift your belly, lift through your thoracic spine, your cervical spine, and up and out of your sternum. So first, I suggest wrapping your arm around to prep before you hook your arm. This makes sure that you are twisting right over your hip line instead of twisting kind of one dramatic way or the other. So you want to stay twisting in a centralized location instead of just leaning to one way and potentially irking something. So keeping that wrap keeps you centered and helps to start to pull your shoulders open. Your right arm goes back and the hand places on the earth behind you. That is there to support not only your balance, but also to help you extend up and twist. So I'm going to switch sides real quick because my hip is telling me I need a little bit of a break. We always have to listen to our bodies. So starting with that wrap, our chest starts to rotate as we twist from the ribs, compressing our belly into the thigh of the top leg. Once we are here, our shoulders are open and our shoulders are in line with that knee, then we can decide to hook. So we don't want to force this twist, and that's where the hook gets a little forceful. Never aggressive, never forceful, but always active, okay? So you can pretend you're twisting by hooking this elbow and like, oh yeah, I've got it here. This is not it. My back is out, my spine is actually in slight flexion instead of extension in a neutral state. All right, so you want that hook to be a pressing up. So you kind of press it into the thigh to lift the heart, lift the chest, instead of just cramming a like twist around. So the things to remember as you keep going into this pose is to lift up and twist more. So let's talk about some of the muscles that we are activating in this pose. So regarding the legs, our top leg, our piriformis muscle, which is deeply attached to the back of our spine and down to the top of our thigh bone. I personally have pulled this muscle, so this pose you might have seen is why I'm having to reshift a little bit, because it's passively lengthening that muscle around the leg as you're crossed here. It's passive, it's not as active as the upper body muscles are. Also, the quad here is passively lengthening because our knee is in flexion here. So that naturally pulls and lengthens this quad muscle as we're here in this position. Also, this muscle reaches deep into our glute region and gets our gemellus, is that how you say it? Gemellus muscles. I know that they are the root muscles at the base of your glute region on your hips. So we are reaching deep in there with this pose, and they are just passively lengthening. So it's nice to gently work into these muscles while we're focusing more on what is happening with our upper body. So regarding our bottom leg and our top leg, our glutes are also lengthening. So our butt muscles are coming around, and our butt, oh my gosh, these muscles are huge. I swear, they're one of the bigger muscles in your entire body, and this is passively lengthening all three on your top leg, but only your medius and your minimus on your bottom leg. So not the full region, but still working the side region pretty good. So I'm feeling it down there, and I'm not even twisted yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and cross as we move up into the upper body and the muscles that we're working here. So as we twist, we are lengthening our rhomboids, which are the muscles along the top of our spine all the way down, and our erector spinal muscles. So these are the muscles that reach up and help us to lengthen and stand tall and hold the weight of our torso over our legs, okay? Evolution, you know? Also, our obliques. So as we rotate, we're lengthening these side bodies of our side body, which is our oblique region, okay? And that's our internal and external. So that's deep into like our rib cage, but also on the outside in our oblique muscles that are on top and are part of our major core muscle region. So it's working so many places. And as we come up through the chest to our head, I suggest to gaze forward to begin with, and if it's available, and again, if it doesn't cause pain, you can start to bring that gaze over your back shoulder, and that will bring an additional lengthening into the back of the neck and the side of your neck. So as you lift your chin and turn it over, it works the back on the side that you're twisting from and the side of your neck. So of course, there are so many people with neck injuries, pain out there. Proceed lightly here and just find the edge that serves you. Gazing to the side will still passively lengthen him. It just might not activate it quite as much as if you look over your shoulder, and that's okay. Take it at your own pace. this pose works deep on me, and I'm hopefully you're finding that it speaks to something in your body as you've been trying to do this alongside me. So that is about the pose. Regarding modifications, there's not really much you can modify here other than the staying at your wrap stage. That is perfectly fine because you don't want to wrench that and start to torque anything, and it's just not going to work, okay? It won't access the muscles the way we want them to and could be risky. So make sure that you're just coming to your edge. Some days I'm here, and that's okay. That keeps us central, that keeps us going, and it really helps, I think, in lengthening the side of those hip muscles. It really activates that as you're still lengthening the back and even working on your organs. So we haven't even talked about that. The compression, the twist on our belly, our digestion, it kind of stops blood flow sort of to that region so that when we unwind, when we release finally from that delicious hold, blood, nutrients, freshness flows in there and stimulates it. So there is so much going on in this pose. It's so sensational, and we have to thank the half Lord of the Fishes for this, I guess. So that's it. I would like to conclude this with talking about breathing. There are two things that you can focus on to make this pose active in different ways. So as you come in, of course, I would like you to inhale, fill the spine, and exhale as you begin to twist. Inhale, reestablish length. Exhale, twist again, finding your edge. And once you get there, there are two locations that you can focus on your breathing. First, your belly. Focusing on drawing the energy of your breath down and filling your belly as you're in the twist brings energy down to release the tension in your hips, your pelvic floor region, and it starts to really work in that region and bring you grounded down to the earth because you are drawing that energy down and pressing that area apart with your breath. The other area is your chest. Coming into a chest breathing, you pull the breath in and focus on filling the lungs, expanding the collarbones as you fill up. And that will assist in deepening the rotational release that we experience in this pose. So we're here, and as we breathe, we create that fluctuation in the muscles that create a space and then release, and then we can deepen and get further and more length. So it's a building, and it helps with focusing on the top part and the rotation and the benefits that come from that. So that is this pose. I hope you learned so much about it and enjoyed it. It's a super fun pose, and it works down on you. So I'm feeling it right now, and I'm super happy about it, and I know that I should put it in my flows more, so I hope you consider the same. If you liked what we did today, give me a like before you go. If you aren't already subscribed, please subscribe, hit the notification button. There will be more pose breakdowns to come, and I wouldn't want you to miss them. So until then, stay safe, stay well, and namaste.